Okay, I feel like I need to come on here just to calm everyone down a little bit. I see a lot of people freaking out because the market went down. So let's be a little bit more objective about this and take a look at some charts and see what is actually going on and whether or not we should be scared. So first of all, I heard a lot that Santa Claus rally was canceled. If you want to know more about the Santa Claus rally, check out my last video on the channel. It's the thumbnail. I'm wearing a little Santa hat. It hasn't started yet. Santa Claus rally doesn't start until the 23rd, so this has nothing to do with the Santa Claus rally one way or the other. First of all, I'll just kind of get that out of the way. But let's just take a look. Let's go in and take a look at the SPY. I just feel like I need to be a little bit the voice of reason here, right? So first of all, this purple line right here is the year-to-date anchored VWAP on the S&P 500. So it means if you started to buy the S&P 500 and you were dollar cost averaging into it throughout the year, this would be your average price. Now, from where we are now to where this price is, we would still have a very long way to go. So that 10% roughly until the average market participant is down money. So if that's the case, then a lot of people are still impressed. They're still happy. They're still looking to kind of buy dips. Another thing that I want to note is that just look at this prior zone right here. We've had support or resistance back here. That became support right here. This one. No, okay. Let's try to draw an arrow. I'll just do it manually. Resistance here, and then support in through here. So we're back to that zone now. Doesn't mean it has to act as support. Just means we have a lot of what's going on in this zone that has to be noticed. Now, I did this on Trader TV, but I'm going to talk about this a little bit now. Fart coin is breaking new all-time highs. The reason I bring up this coin, the reason I have this coin on my particular watch list is because the way I look at it is that if this coin is making new all-time highs and is worth now $1 billion a coin, the animal spirits, the people with money that are looking to invest in risky assets, isn't gone. This is going to be the first thing that is going to fall to zero, I think, when that whole theme is done. People are no longer excited about the market. They're no longer buying risky things. You're not going to see Fartcoin hitting all-time highs. So, we have to note that. If I turn on the kind of pre-market action here, you can see we're already bouncing pretty well in the pre-market. So it could be the case in which this was just a little flash in the pan. People got a little bit too excited about Powell. But if it's not, we have a very important zone. So we can watch this zone right here. We don't need to panic out of positions. We can watch this zone. If we lose this zone and close below it for a couple days, then I'll probably change my tune. I'll probably liquidate most of my portfolio and wait for positions. But I wanted to go over this tweet, which I actually got a lot of views. 27 likes is a pretty big tweet for me. I just said, hey, I bought a lot of things from our pullback and our mean reversion algorithms today. Sometimes you just have to hold your nose and listen to the system. So at StatsEdgeTrading, right, we have systems. This is how we trade. We don't trade based off of guessing. We don't trade based off of just my technical analysis or anything like that. We have systems, right? If we go into the combined strategies, this is what it looks like when you take all of the different strategies that are out there and you kind of combine them together into one picture. So I know what will happen. I know what this looks like when this occurs. So what I did is, as we got a lot of alerts for things that were hitting our targets, and I'm seeing that we are pulling into this area, and even though we are not quite oversold here on the S&P 500, if we just bring up a stochastic, right, not quite oversold in the S&P 500, if we look at RSP, which is the average stock, we are very, very oversold, right? This was down many, many, many days in a row and then broke down. So the average stock in the market is oversold here. So we have some strategies to take advantage of this particular condition, right? And so what happened is the advantage of being a trader who runs off of statistics as opposed to kind of vibes is we're getting alerts like VRNS was pulling in, right? This Veranos systems. We had NCVR pulling in, CLPT pulling in. These are things that I know I can go and I can look at the statistics behind them. And in moments like this where things get very, very worrisome, it is amazing to have statistics, whether you come and use mine, whether you build your own. That's entirely up to you. But I can look at this mean reversion system and I can look at what happens and I can say, okay, this is the mean reversion system. I can go down to the worst bear markets that we've seen. Said, okay, 2008, it lost roughly 20%. 2006, it lost 1%. Some of these other bear markets, 2018, 2019, it did okay. I can look at this and say, I can kind of make myself feel better about these systems and how they'll perform in these particular markets. And then I can say, okay, well, if I believe that our average stock is oversold, and if we go to the SPY, the overall S&P 500 is reaching an area that is very important, and I know the statistics behind these strategies that are getting spit out, I can confidently take the trades and know if I'm wrong and this pulls back, I will lose money. It will happen. I can go and I can look through and I can see, right, months of losing in this particular strategy. I can see months, years of strategies. So I go to the pullback one, the other one that I bought from, I can see this as well. I can go through and I can look and I can say, well, right, 2008 lost 22%. That's not ideal, but made that back very quickly and off to the races. I can look and I can see and I can kind of feel what it would look like if this continues. But if I'm right and we are going to have a short-term bounce here, then I would be very happy. So the main point, the question or the thing that I want to get to is that A, don't ever panic in markets. If you're panicking at all to the upside or the downside, right, you're chasing a fart coin, it means you haven't had a plan. If you're panicking, you don't have a plan. So that's the first thing, is to sit down and say, okay, why am I panicking? That means I don't have a plan. I haven't fully accepted the risk of what I'm doing. So to have that chat with you, it's a very important chat to have. The second thing that I think is very, very important is to make sure that when moments like this occur, that again, you have something that you know what the worst case scenario is going to be. You have some sort of tested statistics out there, either through back testing or through recording your own trades. Go back through your own trading history and say, when things got really bad, what happened? Right? And accept that. Understand that that's going to happen again. Those down years that I saw in the strategies may happen again. I'm hoping that my trading knowledge and my trading ability ups all of the returns that we just saw there. I can sidestep bear markets, which I don't think we're in. I can really push on the gas in bull markets, which I do think we're in, that kind of thing. But you have to have a plan. You have to have a strategy. The amount of people that I saw stuck in the headlights and just deer in the headlights, had no idea what to do. What do I buy? Do I sell? What do I buy? What do I sell? That is the problem. There are moments like this where you either need to uh, poop or get off the pot. I don't know if that's just a saying up here, but it means you either need to start buying things. You need to understand that you have a strategy and your strategy says to buy when the market dips. If you're a trend follower and you got stopped out of a lot of positions there, you just have to be okay with that. And then look for what's happening next. Don't get caught on what's going on right now. Look for what's happening next. I just wanted to turn on the camera to try to calm everybody down a little bit. We had a pullback. It was a big one. We don't know what's going to happen next, but we need to remember we're in an overall bullish trend. Santa Claus rally hasn't even gotten here yet. So make your lists of stocks that are holding on well that you want to buy and watch and wait and breathe and don't panic. And I'll talk to you soon.